Hi there, I'm Taufik Rahan here from Road 2. Welcome back to channel. For some of you, welcome to the channel. And today we're going to discuss about how to improve the braking power on a motorcycle. Let's find out. Before I dive in any further, share with you my experience throughout a motorcycle. Please do take note that I'm not a professional rider, right? I'm not a professional rider, but I am an experienced rider. I've been riding a motorcycle for 17 years. So throughout the years, I studied a lot, I make mistake a lot. So hopefully this channel and this part of the segment will teach some of the newer rider, or maybe some rider who do not understand well about braking system on a motorcycle. Now, let's dive in further. If you're the type of person who say that, bro, while I brake my motorcycle, it's not really that good. The braking power is not that good. It's not up to my expectation. Alright, there's many things you have to look out for, right? There's something that is cheap, meaning that costs you way lesser, but it will improve it more drastically compared to something that you think is expensive, but in reality is actually the improvement is not really that much. So if the braking power, first thing first, you feel like it's not that up to your expectation, what do you need to check first? First, you need to check on these things. Okay, first foremost, you have to check on is your bike model. Say this is 125Z, it doesn't equip with ABS, but for nowadays modern days bike, majority of the bike come with ABS. With the ABS on by itself, with the ABS equipped on and use the ABS, it will not really good at braking, meaning that you have a longer braking distance. Longer stopping distance compared to non-ABS have a shorter stopping distance. So with that said, of course the power is not really that great. I mean the power is great, but because due to the electronic wise, it will not try to lock your brakes. That's why the stopping distance is lower and the force is not there, right? So you have to check whether the ABS is on or off. If you are in the newer, if your bike is equipped with ABS, if the ABS is off and you still think that you still feel that it's not up to your expectation, this is where the money start to come in. So as we all know, most of the bike nowadays days are using ABS, right? It's wise to check. You can bypass the ABS, or some of the model I think you can switch off the ABS, then you see how it goes from there. If the ABS system you already off or bypass it, it's still not up to your expectation, this is where you have to start to look at to change, all right, and look and change. But the smaller amount of value need to be changed, is the impact is way more greater than you think that the expensive thing. But the expensive thing that you have to change, actually it doesn't impact so much. Now let's dive in further from parts to parts. Okay, now the first thing you have to check, this will cost you a little bit of money, right? Not so much. First you have to check the condition of your brake. All right, okay, the ABS, let's put it, the ABS already off. All right, your brake fluid, the level of your brake fluid, your rotary disc and your brake pad, how does the condition look like? If your rotary discs start to be exhausted, start to be wavy, you know, when you touch it, you can feel the wave line. Or if your brake pad has already been exhausted, it become more thin. That can be lead to the reason why the brake force is not that strong enough or to your desire, because it started to wear off. Try to change the rotary disc and brake pad. By changing that, you can see an improvement. But if let's say the brake pad and the rotary disc is in a perfect condition, but still doesn't brake as what your expectation is, this is what you need to change. Okay, this is the most important thing you have to change, right? Most factory bike come with a rubber hose brake, meaning that this thing. Most of the factory bike come with a rubber hose. So by changing to a stainless steel braided hose, by just changing that, I can guarantee you that 80% of a rider who using the bike on the street will happy about it, right? Because by changing the braided stainless steel, I don't care the brand, right? Because as long as you know it is stainless steel hose, the braking force or power is already improved drastically, and it's not that expensive, right? It's expensive, of course, but depend on the brand. But by changing that alone, you can have the different level of brake feel. Now, if you are the type of person, bro, I already changed the braided, as you say, stainless steel hose, but it's still not up to my expectation. Okay, now this is what you need to change. So, what you need to change? Some of you rider will think that the brake pump, bro, the brake caliper. No, actually none of that yet. Not even the brake pump, not even the brake caliper. It is your brake shoe, right? The brake shoe, there's many type of, sorry, not brake shoe, brake pad. There's many type of brake pad. If you want a very good force of the braking, try to change the racing brake pad. But the downside of racing brake pad is they start to wear off easily. But the grip, the biting force to the rotary disc is quite good, alright? But the downside, like I said, it will wear off way more easier compared to the street one. Well, I will discuss to you more on the brake type of brake pad on later part of the video. So, if you already change to a racing brake pad and you just still say that it's not up to my expectation, bro, then comes with the next will be the master pump. So the master pump can be the next solution. So you already changed everything really, but master pump, there's plenty of master pump. The best right now on the market will be Brembo. Obviously Brembo is the best brake that ever produced. I mean, there's Nissin, there's many type of brake pump, right? So it depends on the model, everything. The best of the best, as we all know, Brembo. So by changing, you have to change your brake pump. There's many type of brake pump, RCS 19, 18, 17, depending on what you are looking at. By changing the brake pump itself, yes, it will start to improve the braking power, braking force, but the price has already been increasing. But once again, if you already change your brake pump and you still say that, bro, it's not my expectation again, bro, the brake is still not there, I don't feel it. Well, let's move on to the next one, what you have to change. So next will be the brake caliper. Most people think that brake caliper have the most impact. No, actually no. Brake caliper is the least improvement on the braking force or power, but it is the most expensive to change. There's no point for you changing the brake caliper, expensive, best of the best brake caliper, but with the ABS on. That doesn't make any difference. Yeah, it will improve certain thing, but it doesn't really improve drastically. So brake caliper, for your info, is the most expensive thing, the least improvement thing on a motorcycle. So let's say you change yourself a brake caliper, but you still say that, bro, it's still not up to the expectation. It can be your tire pressure, the wear and tear of your tires. If let's say your tire pressure is in a perfect level and your tires is in a good condition, still not up to your expectation, now come to the rotary disc. Rotary disc, to be specific, it doesn't affect anything, alright? It's floating, the semi-float or fully floating rotary disc is more to a track day rider or the bike need to use to a track, for a track use. For a street use, actually it doesn't make any impact at all, because when the brake start to brake, a lot of time on the track, the heat started to transfer, whereas the metal will start to expand. That's where a floating disc brake play a part. But if you're using on the street, how often do you brake? Yes, you brake every now and then. But how harsh do you brake? Of course, you brake only, the force is not really that much compared to the track day riders. Compared to a track bike. So floating disc is more towards a safety on a street, but to improvement wise, no, it doesn't improve anything. As long as it's in a good condition for street use, there's no difference. Maybe the sizing or what, but it doesn't impact anything. It just impact only a little bit. Just maybe if you talk about percentage, maybe 1%. 1% for $800 or $900 floating disc for street use is not worth it. Am I right? So now, next comes, you change yourself a good brake pump, you change the set from the brake hose, brake pad, everything you change to the best of the best of the best of the best. Let's put it that way. But you still say that, bro, the brake force or the brake power is not up to my expectation. After you change everything, 100% fully changed to the best of the best, let's say Brembo, the best of the best. In that case, there's only the problem is not the bike. The problem is you yourself. Maybe you don't have a proper braking technique that you need to be improved. So get on your bike and start to brake as much as possible and try to learn as much as possible from a professional, and maybe you're satisfied with your brake. So I'm Taufik Raihan from Road to. Hopefully this segment will help you about braking power on a motorcycle. Till the next time, guys.